The role of government is to provide storage facility, is to provide transport system, is to control prices, but auditing, that's not part of the role of the government, which makes option A to be the correct answer. And the last question that said that is regarded as the last link in the chain of distribution, and that's the correct answer is retailer. Retailer is the last link. The major links that we have in the chain of distribution are wholesaler and retailer. And the retailer is the last one. They are the closest to the final consumer. Now the topic we are considering is labor market. When we talk of labor market is not the same as the market that we look at in the society or that we learn as a market as a topic. Labor market is a market where employers and employees meet and agree on terms of the employment. Is an arrangement between the employer and the employee. Arrangement between those that want to employ and the workers that want to work for their living. That is the labor market. Labor market can be local and it can be international. It can be local in the sense that it can be within the country. It can be international when it is involving outside countries. And some things that are needed in labor market are skills, qualifications, and some other qualities that the employee wants to use to work. Those are the deep meaning and the other information that we need to know about labor market. Labor market depends on the exchange of information between employers and job seekers and the employee. And the information will be based on the wage rates, the condition of the employment, the level of competition in the market, and the job location. All these need to be agreed on, and they need to really get full information on them. What are the wage rates in the society? For example, in Nigeria, the least wage rate set by the government is 18,000 naira. And in that case, that means nobody supposed to pay below 18,000 naira for a graduate. That is an information. The condition of the employment, the condition of the job, what are the things that the employees will enjoy in the job, what are the things that the employers must provide for the workers, and other informations like that. They are very vital informations that need to be taken into consideration at the labor market, at the point and the arrangement between the employer and the employees. Labor market, or can also be called job market, function through the interaction between the workers and the employee, like we said, and employers compete for the best workers in the market. They compete for the best hands, the best set of people that have the best qualities and can really bring satisfaction to them and really perform well. So employers usually compete for such qualified job seekers. And at the same time, workers also compete for the best satisfying job. There are different employers outside there, but with different characteristics, different performances, and different satisfaction given to their employers and their employees. In that case, both employees, as employees, is competing for the best workers with the best qualities to do the good job. Also, the workers also are competing for the best companies or the best business or the best set of employers that can really satisfy them and provide reasonable work environments for them. That is labor market, and some informations that are needed when it comes to labor market. Now, another time under this topic that we must look at is labor force. When we talk of labor force is the total number of people of working age in a particular country who are able and willing to work. For example, in Nigeria, the working age starts from 18 years. Between 18 years and 65 years. That range of 18 years and 65 years is what we can refer to as working population or active population in Nigeria, because that is the labor force of Nigeria. That is the age bracket of labor force in Nigeria. That means anybody that falls between that age of 18 and 65 is regarded as a labor force in Nigeria, and such a person is regarded as somebody that should live a productive life, should have something doing, and in a way contributing to the smoothness of the economy, contribute in one way or the other to the economy. That is, such a person is responsible for him or herself and should be able to have one or two things doing as a work. Now, let's look at another term that we refer to as wage. When we talk of wages, wages are the reward of labor. Labor is one of the factors of production, and the reward of labor is wages. Other reward of wages, of labor is salary, but in this case, wages is part of the reward. Wages also is regarded as the price of the labor, the price that is paid for the work done by the workers. That is wages. Wages are the payments made to labor after work. When somebody works and the money the person gets in return can be referred to as wages. The price of labor is determined by the market forces, such as demand and supply, the forces of demand and supply. In this case, the demand for labor and the supply for labor, they are somehow related to the concept of demand and supply, but in this case, we are referring to labor instead of goods and services in the other case. Therefore, the demand for labor is also related and a good determinant of the wage rates, of the wages that the workers will be collecting in the labor market. We will look at all this one after the other. Now let's look at the types of wages. We have two major types of wages. The first one is nominal wages. It can also be referred to as money wages. This nominal wages is the total amount of money a laborer collects after work. If a laborer works for an hour and the person is given 100 naira, that 100 naira is the nominal wage of that work done for that hour. So such a wages is measured in terms of money, is monetary measurement. In that case, the money you are paid for a particular work or job you've done is what we refer to as nominal wage or money wage. The other type of wages is what we call real wages. And we can also refer to these real wages as the purchasing power of labor. These real wages is the total amount of goods and services that a laborer, a worker, can use the money is being paid for the work done to buy. For example, if a worker, like I said, a worker works for an hour and is being paid 100 naira, what can that worker buy with that 100 naira is what we refer to as real wages. If the 100 naira can only buy a sachet of water or a bag of pure water, that means that one bag of pure water bought with 100 naira is regarded as real wages and can also be referred to as the purchasing power of labor. And that is the second wages type of wages that we have. Now, we call something other wage rates. That's another concept under this labor market. Now, wage rates may be defined as the rate at which labor is paid for the services it renders in production. That is, the way the labor is paid, the worker is being paid. Is it being paid per hour or paid by output? That is what we want to look at. We have two major types of wage rates as well. The first one is time rate system. Time rate system is that the workers will be paid based on the numbers of hours or numbers of days or numbers of minutes the person worked. If you are being paid based on the numbers of hours, that means the time rate system is applied. The other one is piece rate system. Piece rate system is concerned with the wages paid to laborer based on the work done. How many how many products, how many goods were you able to produce? What is the output of your production? And that is what you will be paid for. So when a worker is being paid based on the output, based on the number of things he has produced, that is what we refer to as piece rate system. Regardless of the number of hours you worked, if you work for 1 day, for 24 hours you will only be able to produce just 2 products, you will be paid for the 2 products, not based on the hour of the product. So each employers need to decide on the basis for their payment. Oh, will it be time rate or piece rate? Which one will be beneficial to the business or to the company? They need to decide on that. Now, what are the determinants of wages? What are the things that will determine the wages that the suppliers, the employers will give to the workers? The first one is the forces of demand and supply. The forces of demand and supply of labor, demand of labor and supply of labor is a great determinant on the amount of wages that will be paid. For example, if the demand for labor is very high, the demand for labor comes from the employers. It's the employers that will demand for workers. If the demand for workers is very high in the society, there is possibility of the wages to be very high, because the wages are at the receiving end and they have the power to say, oh, this is what they want to collect, because they are like the king at that moment. And the workers, the employers are seriously in need of them. And because they are available and they are the one that will